Hi everyone, I'm heading down the central North Island here in New Zealand, heading towards Kinloch, a small town on the shores of Lake Dalpole. If you're watching this, then that means I managed to get Conflict of Heroes Guadalcanal out for a short while, and to have a look at probably the various scenarios in the game. So on with that in a moment. Just as we speak, I'm coming into the township of Whakamaru, which is a small town based around the hydroelectric dam here. It's quite an old dam, been around for a while, and yeah, it's a lovely route, this one I'm taking at the moment, and just about to cross the dam actually. So I just watched Bernardo's review on Conflict of Heroes Guadalcanal, and as expected it was a very glowing review, and I'm looking forward to getting the scenarios out in a moment. Okay guys, well anyway, that's the Whakamaru Dam we've just driven over, and I'll see you in a flash with the scenarios. Firefight 1, Gudage's Patrol. So essentially in this firefight, the Marines have landed a recon party on the beach, and some of that party have gone out on a recon mission, while the others have formed a defensive perimeter. And we have Japanese that are advancing to attack the defensive perimeter, and there are also Japanese reinforcements arriving in round 2. So the orders for the US in this scenario, the US score 1 victory point for each round that this scout group here have not entered this side of the board. So essentially the longer the defensive perimeter can hold without these guys reappearing on the board, gives them victory points. Secondly, when the landing craft leaves, it gets 2 VP for each unit that is on or adjacent to the landing craft. So that's the US victory conditions, mighty tough ones by the look of it. And the Japanese victory conditions are that they immediately score 2 VP for each US unit that is destroyed, and 4 VP at the end of the game for each US unit that has not entered the map or is still on the map. So the timing of these coming onto the map is quite important, and it's obviously important to get these guys off the map, all the US Marines, or else the Japanese are going to score 4 VP each. This is a 5-round game, I think it is. Sorry, 4-round game, and the LCP can depart after round 3. So I played this scenario once. It was my first turn at this game, Guadalcanal, having played the other Conflict of Heroes games. It's simple to get into, and the Marines were pretty much annihilated. I elected to bring my scout party back in this area here because of the less dense jungle, so easier to move, faster to move. But that was a bad mistake, because the Japanese have got a medium machine gun here on the edge of the jungle, an infantry unit here on the edge of the jungle, and essentially their Marines were just advancing through clear terrain, and as expected they were mowed down, unfortunately. The other option was to bring them over here somewhere, but they're going to be going through heavy jungle, and it's just hard to see how they're going to get back to that landing craft in time. So that's scenario 1, or firefight 1. It's a very interesting one, and I'll be replaying that one again shortly. This is a quick snapshot of the situation in firefight 1 during round 2 of this current game I'm playing. That's the second game of Guadalcanal, and you can see here that the defensive perimeter Marines on the beach have had the Japanese infantry on their right flank move into this heavy jungle area here, threatening to launch a attack there. Meanwhile, on the left flank of the perimeter Marines. 2 infantry units and a machine gun unit have advanced along the beach and are threatening the whole beach itself. This Marine unit back here has pivoted to face them. Meanwhile, a scouting party of Marines have emerged through the dense jungle here, moved across this open area here, out of range of these infantry here, and slightly out of line of sight of this heavy machine gun over here, and have moved into dense bush here. So the problem now for the Marines is that these guys here are going to come under some severe attack from the jungle right on their border and along the beach, and hopefully this unit here can pin these guys down on the beach. That remains to be seen. So far the Marines have 3 victory points and there have been no casualties. There's been no live firing yet so far. It's all been positioning. So that's a snapshot in round 2 of Firefight 1. So this is the end of the 3rd round, and the Marines are doing particularly well. You can see here from the position that all the remaining Marine units have made it back to the defensive perimeter area and are in reasonable shape, with this unit here having taken a hit and this unit at the bottom of this stack here having taken a hit. Meanwhile, the Japanese have lost 3 units with a further one that's taken a hit over here. So the Americans are on 1 victory point, and the round ends on the end of round 4. So I've got to get these Marine units onto or adjacent to this thing and off this beach, and but they're going to be coming under heavy fire now from these units on the beach here, with this clear line of path to the retreating units. This medium machine gun here is going to be pretty devastating, so it's going to be a rough sprint to the beach from here. But the Marines have done very well, and they've just taken the 1 casualty so far. So let's see how this pans out. Hey, it's the end of the game. The landing craft has departed, and it's taken with it 3 units, 2 of which are pretty well cut up, and it's been a victory to the Marines with a score of 1. However, it's a Pyrrhic victory because they had to leave behind a Marine unit, which is something the Marines don't do, but in this case they were pinned down, they were unable to rally, and we were out of command points. There was no way I could get them back to the landing craft this turn, so I had to do the unthinkable and leave them behind. But yeah, so the Japanese scored 4 points for that one there. These guys came under some withering fire on the beach there, but they withstood it, and they managed to get away. So yeah, none of those Marines are going to be happy having left their mates behind there, but anyway, so that's the scenario. Scenario 1 completed, and it's been a victory to the Marines, which is probably not the common result you're going to get for scenario 1. Yeah, so there we go. My first really proper play of Guadalcanal. I'll reserve my judgment for it after a few more plays, but on the face of it, first up, it's looking pretty good. I'm not sure if it's going to come close to the experience you get with Awakening the Bear, particularly with the solo rules. I am very much missing the solo expansion for this, but I'm sure that will come at some stage. But yeah, it really did simulate jungle warfare there. It was pretty tight and pretty nasty sort of combat. I used the standard AP rules, that's drawing 7 APs per unit, which I'm not a great fan of, but I just wanted to use that while I was getting familiar with the game. So all in all, a exciting, intense finish to this scenario. More later. Thanks for watching.